Hello friends, today we will be discussing about fundamentalism and diversity, but not the secular. What are the miracle mongers and devotion in a democratic spiritual? We will be understanding today. Okay, so before discussing these all things, let us remember what yesterday I have given you, so that you will be recalling that explanation with regarding this and making the analyzation as your own self. Let me give you what I have given yesterday of explanation relating to. Sorry. So yesterday I have given explanation regarding sound, vibration, rhythm, and energy. So let me give you introduction of energy with related to the vibration and rhythm, which causes the sound. You may know that what is the relation between the energy. You may ask me that what is the relation between the energy and the sound, vibration and the sound. So when we come across these all words, let me explain you. Rhythm is the smallest unit of causing the sound. Smallest unit of causing the sound with related to the system and the object molecule. These are the smallest unit of that. So vibration larger than the rhythm, which causes particular rate of the period, so that it may vibrate in a certain environment to cause a sound, to cause a energy. This is how the energy causes the vibrating can cause the energy. You may know that by physical way, by the physical way, or when I'm telling with the physical way, environmental in an environment, and when a biological way, with our own vibration of our own self, of rhythmic, like circulation of the blood. It is a kind of the rhythm. You will be having to you will be hearing that. When you will be hearing mean, when you are in a when you are in a meditative state, or when you will be closing your ears, when you are closing the ears with the meditative state, then you will be forming the buzz like a sound, so that the flowing of that blood you can be here. So this is how the sound causes rhythm of the sound is. This is what the vibration of the sound is. This is what the sound is, combination of the rhythm and the vibration. This is how the energy comes. This is how the energy, the vibration, vibrating, and the rhythm make the sound and form in the form, we will be seeing in the form of the energy, producing in the form of the energy. So when we come across the biological words, biological way of our own self with related to these all words, this is how the energy comes. This is how the soul is. This is how the immanent of the sun irradiating whole body with respect to our own receptors. With respect to our own receptors, which make the sense which will be giving towards the mind to sense. It is a kind of the object that we should be holding. It is a kind of the object we should not be holding. The sense of awareness. This is what the sense we are sending. The receptors is sending to the mind. So when this all we are coming, when we are telling of this, the energy is nothing but the form of the energy is everywhere. When I am telling the energy is not meant with the fundamental cell itself. Fundamental cell is having the energy because there is a combination of I have explained you. Let me make you remember what I have explained with related to that. The combination of carbohydrates, combination of the carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, and nucleic acid. This is the combination of these all things make the blood circulation. So when this all the circulation comes in a between with the related to the circulation, I am telling, when I am telling the related to the circulation, then you will be having the sense of the nervous system. The flow of the blood is related to the nervous system. This is what the central nervous system is. So when the central nervous system is subjected with various parts of the body, when the central nervous system is subjected to the various part of the body with the relating to the nerve system. So nerve system is the main thing that supplies the energy. So now you have realized that what is the energy is related to the sound, and what is the energy is related to our own mind, and what the energy is related to our own relaxation. So this is how the energy. So energy. Now next I will be coming how the energy is related to Om. 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 The vibration of the Om. Pronunciation of the Om. So next I will be giving the explanation with the energy is equal to Om. How it is? I will make you sure that I will be giving the explanation. Today we will be discussing about the fundamentalism, diversity but not the secular. Diversity but not the secular. I will be giving the explanation. And the miracle mongers. Who are the miracle mongers? And the devotion in a democratic spiritual. How the devotion in a democratical situation. I will be giving the explanation. So let me give you these all things with the reference of Bhagavad Gita. Because Bhagavad Gita is the main thing that one should understand how the situation is going towards, and why the situation is being to be analyzed. How the situation should be analyzed by individual. So this is how the guidance, this is how the desire of the Bhagavad Gita one should having. So having this all things as a priority of desireness, as having this all thing knowing as a priority of these words with related to Bhagavad Gita, I have brought the series like positivity and the negativity, energies, as well as the sense of thoughts. The sense of thoughts with related to the Bhagavad Gita, because the Bhagavad Gita has the answers with all the questions which you will be having the particular situations with your own individualness. So this is how whenever in this all the series, except the democratic, when I am talking with the democratical way, I have brought with certain kind of the sentences with a positioned person. But except that, I have used only the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is also having the political way. But I have not used the Bhagavad Gita with some of the political situation, because political situation is caused by the particular person who is having their own mindset of not having the desire of the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. So when we come across the political way with the sense of the influence of the with the subject of as certain sentences, I come with the Bhagavad Gita. The same thing in the view of the historical way, in the view of the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Not with the relating the position person who takes the preference of the Rajoguna or Tamoguna as their preference, and the person who creates the Sattva Guna in the mask, taking the Sattva Guna as the mask and making the Rajoguna and the Tamoguna as the preferentiable. I am not talking of that. So this is how one should understand how the person is approaching to you, and why the person is approaching to you, what is the matter of the person, how the person of the intent is, what the person of intent should be in coming in a situation creating. So this is how the situation was previously, the situation present, and the situation with future. So understanding this all thing with related to one's individually is more important. This is how I have brought the series with regarding. So today now I will be giving the fundamentalism with related to oneself with and diversity, but not the secularism. Understand this word, diversity, not the secularism. Secularism is the word which is very much disturbed, so that once is converting from once sattva guna to rajoguna to tamoguna. This is what the word secular is mean. So I will be giving you how here comes the word called miracle mongers. The conversion taking place because of the secularism. Diversity, what is the I will be giving, okay, I will be giving you devotion in a democratical way. Okay, I will be giving the explanation, full detail about this. What is the fundamental with related to the today I am with related to the context today I am using. Okay, what is meant? Purusha saparam partha bhaktya labhya swatva nanyaya yasyantasyani bhutani yena sarvamidam tamam. This is what? That the transcendent one, in whom all being abides, by whom all this world is pervaded, may be reached by unwavering devotion. So what I am trying to tell you today is Purusha sa evam paraham partha bhaktya labhyastva nanyaya. So Purusha, what is the Purusha? I have given a Purusha. What is the meaning of the Purusha with related to the Bhagavad Gita? Once more I will be giving the realization of the what is the Purusha is. Yatha prakashastheka kritsnaha loka mimam ravihi kshetram kshetri tatha kritsna prakashayati bharata. So Purusha means the eminent of our own self, the immune power. As we come across the biological term, we come across the immune power. So energy is related to the immune power. The energy which is related to immune power is nothing but the ojas. We can in Ayurvedic words, in Ayurvedic we come across the immune system. And when we come across the spiritual word, ojas, what is the mean by the ojas? Ojas is nothing but the energy. Energy is nothing but the one's immune power. So working, execution, creating the execution of that. The sattva guna, we are having the sattva guna, we are having the rajo guna as with related to the nature, not with related to something the situation which is created by others. But with rajas guna with related to the nature, and nature gives the rajo guna as the relaxation of oneself. Okay, so when we come across the kshetram kshetri kratsa tatha kritsna prakashati bharata. So when we come with the kshetram kshetri, the body. Kshetram and the kshetri is nothing but the body. The body is nothing but the immune power which executes the sattva guna as his own determined devotion is. This is how the one should understand what is the sattva guna is, what is the rajo guna is, what is the tamo guna is, how the intent of the person is, how the person is converting from the sattva guna to rajo guna, what the situation is creating, how the situation is manipulated, how the situation is polarizing in a particular environment. You should know. You should be knowing that, because I have given an explanation of polarization in this context because of the fundamentalism. Fundamentalism is the one thing which makes the person to understand his own self of execution of the execution of the sattva guna with related to the Bharat. So we should not be taking the action as we should be not taking the action as the environment and position person is polarizing the situation, because certain news has occurs. Certain news will be occurring in a random way, that without having the sattva guna with related to the Bharat, they take the action regarding the situation with the with the execution of their desired position. So when these all are taking, when the position person is taking with the desired action with related to, one should understand what is the value of one's individual with regarding to the democratical way, with regarding to the Bharat, with regarding to one's execution, with regarding to the what is the meaning of oath, what the constitution provides. Oath is a democratical right to which constitution gives our own self, with relating to the give the power for the position certain positioning person. So when the certain positioning person is influencing or polarizing the situation, one should understand why the person, what is the intent of the person is, how the person is related to that, and what is the background of the situation is, how the situation should be handled, and what are the decisions should be taken with regard, and why the person is related to the various dimension of society. So when you know the person is polarizing or some of the things which is very much important of oneself as related to the rajoguna and the tamoguna, as related to the rajoguna and the tamoguna, I am not telling about the sattva guna. I am not telling with the sattva guna. The person who is having the sattva guna as his own execution and the sattva guna as his own position of a certain situation, he will be taking the action regarding the sattva guna itself. The person who is taking the rajoguna and the tamoguna as a preferentiable of certain situation, they makes execution lower than the lower of their own sensing the sense of the individualness, polarizing the sense of the individualness. So when we are coming towards the polarization of the sense of polarization of the sense of individualness, so one should understand what is the meaning of the fundamentalism, what the fundamentalism is really mean, what the fundamentally is really mean in the Bhagavad Gita, what the fundamentally really mean with the democratical way. So when we come across the fundamentalism of the Bhagavad Gita and the fundamentalism of the democratical way, one should understand the shloka, what with Purusha Saparam. Purusha Saparam. Let me give you. Purusha Saparam is nothing but the energy of your own self. I am explaining regarding the fundamentalism only with the fundamental, with the sattva guna, not with the rajoguna or tamoguna. Purusha Saparam is nothing but your own execution of the sattva guna with regarding the Bharat. This is what the Purusha Saparam. Partha bhaktya labhya sattva nanyaya. Sattva nanyaya. Labhya sattva nanyaya. What is means? So one should have the sattva guna with related to the Bharat itself. So having this all execution with related to one's individuality is related to the democratical as well. So protecting of our democratical is meant with our own individualness. We should understand with related to the democratical way. When we come across the spiritual way, we should know that the Purusha Saparaha Param. So when we come across the spiritual way, we should understand that Purusha Sa Param means the execution of the Sattva Guna, the execution of the enhancement, the energy of the enhancing of the energy. This is what the Chetod Bhavaya Namaha. Om Chetod Bhavaya Namaha. So have reducing of this energy, reducing of the Chetod Bhavaya, the execution of one's individualness, reducing of this is the negative energy, negative persons who takes the preferenceable of Rajoguna and the Tamoguna. This is how the conversion is taking place. Reducing of the energy of the immune power. When we come across the democratical way, immune power, lowering of the immune power. The person who takes the Rajoguna and the Tamoguna as his preferenceable, even though he is having the position as a Sattva Guna of the having the Sattva Guna as a position, but he is taking the action as regarding the Rajoguna and the Tamoguna. He takes the action regarding Ashastra Vihitam. Ashastra Vihitam Ghoram Tatpanto Ye Tapo Janaha Dambahankara Yukta Kama Raga Balavindata. This is how the Bhagavad Gita gives you. So understanding is the main thing, that how the person is approaching to you, what the person what the mindset is with relating. I am not telling to take the action with relating to certain situation, context of the certain situation, but you should analyze what is the context is with related to, with the previous, with the present, and with the future. The analyzing is not meant with the only the situation which is creating presence, but the situation which is creating the previous one, the future one, the present one. This is what the analyzing means. So one should understand that the fundamentalism is with regarding the Bhagavad Gita. Purusha Param, the reducing of the immune power is nothing but the negativity. This is how the spiritual in a spiritual power the fundamentalism is. When we come across the democratical way, reducing the power with relating the dominating on others is the democratical way. When I am coming the fundamentalism with the reference of the democratical way, fundamentalism way, the domination, when the domination comes, the immune of the right of the individualness. This is all the emergency implementation of the emergency. When the Bharat has faced the emergency period, the individual eradication of the fundamental right. This is how the one's value of the one's vote is. This is how the democratical the understanding of the democratical weight with understanding of the democratical right with related to the fundamentalism. When I am coming the fundamentalism with related to the spiritual power, Purusha Sa Param, reducing of the immune system, immune power is the negativity. Reducing of the immune rising of the immune system is the positivity. You should understand the fundamentalism of your own self with related to the environment. When we come across the democratical way, with related to oneself, when we come across our individualness and the spiritual way, when we come across the spiritual way of our own self with related to mindset of the devotion mindset, or a devoting mindset, or the mindset of devoting of devotion mindset, meditative mindset, we come across this all analyzation. So this is how the fundamentalism is. Because fundamentalism is very much important to understand with the democratical way as well as with the with related to the fundamentalism fundamentalism with related to the Bhagavad Gita, and also the fundamentalism with related to our own self. When I am talking with the fundamentalism with the Bhagavad Gita is a one's individual fundamentalism right. Bhagavad Gita is a one's individual fundamental rights, what the rights one should have in a spiritual way as in a democratical way. So this is how I have given some of the sentence. I have given sentences which is very implicable in this situation. How it is, I will be giving it. So it is related to the one's with the yes, okay. Western philosophy is turning towards Indian philosophy. Indian philosophy itself the socio-political itself the philosophy of the religion. This is how the Bhagavad Gita is. It's socio-political itself philosophy of the religion. Political is itself a philosophy of the religion. This is how the Bhagavad Gita is. This is how the fundamental I am using today. I am using today fundamentalism with related to the fundamentalism with related to the democratical way, as well as with the spiritual of one's individuality. So one should know the value of the oath. What is the vote is when we come across the voting of selecting the position person, one should understand what is the meaning of vote and what is the right we are having with regarding the 5 years, and what the vote we have given, what we have voted for. What we are voted for, what the person has did previously, what we are wanting in the future. So one should understand while we are voting for, while we are selecting for the position person. So one should know that understanding the fundamentalism is very much important in the as with the spiritual way and as with the democratical way. Because a lack of understanding with the democratical way, fundamentalism with related to the democratical way, we come across the consequences like the conversions. We come across the consequences called the conversion, criminalization, and the disharmony in the society, and domination as well in the process of the democratical way. In the process of the democratical way, domination comes towards the in the process of the democratical way, when we forget the voting of a proper positioned person, like the situation what we are having what we are facing today, like the conversion, and many more criminalization, delay of all the works what we are coming across the officially. Delaying is the main thing that causes the confusion with related to the person, with related to the individuality. The power, when the fundamental constitution has given a power of voting, the power of voting is meant with individuality. When I am telling with the individuality, power of voting is related to the power with related to the democratical way, the process of completion of your own process, official process of completion of the process, which make the satisfaction. Yes, this is what the ruling of our own my own one single vote is initialized with. The right of our voting should be given should be give them satisfaction through the governance of official governance with related to the one's individuality. This is how the fundamentalism is. This is how the constitution provides the voting right for the individuality. This is how the one is having the democratical right with related to the position, selecting for the position person. Avoiding these all things, only we are only we are making the certain, making the comfortable in that situation. Comfortable in that situation, we are making the conversion of our own fundamentalism is causing the corrupt mind. Is causing the corrupt mind with related to the misbehaving of the fundamentalism right of our own self in the particular situation. This is how the fundamentalism is related to with our own self, with relating to the democratical way. So one should understand this all things, because fundamentalism right is relating to the official work, what we should be completing in a period of that time. Delaying of that time can be delayed for a various type of a diversification in all the field. So one should know the fundamentalism of the democratical way when we are electing for the position person, so that position person can make the governing of all the officials in a process of democratical way. In the process of the official, what are the work should be done by the officials with related to one's individuality, as one's individuality with related to the official's work. So one should understand the fundamentalism of this is oneself, as well as the fundamentalism of the democratical way, and also the fundamentalism with related to the official way. So understanding the official way is nothing but the process of your own fundamentalism with related to the office, the completion of the work. So incompletion of the work is related to corrupt mind. So when the corrupt mind enters in a administrative state, there comes the corruptions. When corrupt mind enters in an administrative state, then comes the corruption. Why the corruption is in executive? Why the person is coming with the certain amount of that? Because he has forgotten the fundamentalism of his own self with related to the democratical way of electing the person. Electing the person in a time where he is to describe his voting a particular time. He have forgotten that, because he has comfortable with certain situation, with the particular situation which is caused by the position person. This is how the corrupt mind is doing the corrupt administration. The corrupt administration is doing the corrupt officials. The corrupt officials is making the corruption towards from the corrupt people. So when I am telling this all corruption is related to the one's individual, starting from one's individual. One's individual, when we are talking about the corruption of one's individual, so one should understand how the process should be in a administrative way, in a smooth execution of the power, in a smooth execution of individualness power with related to the official power. So when we are coming with the fundamentalism of officially, the completion of the official process is related to one's individuality, not with the multiple persons, but it is related to one's individuality. So when we come across the official process is when the process is with the official, it is related to particular person, not with the person who is related to multiple individuals. So when we come across the when we come with the constitutional way, voting for some of the position, we come across the peoples, we come across the individual. Like yes, this person, this individual is voting for the this position party, and this once individual is voting for this party. So let us we take the action towards the same what the person is taking towards. So this is not the way. But one should understand what the fundamentalism with relating to his, and one should understand what the background and the thinking is, and one should understand what the execution is with related to the democratical way in a positioned person, and what is the thinking with related to, and how the behavior is relating to what the thinking and the behavior, what the execution with. Thinking, behavior, and the execution with. And the one should take the action with related to the democratical way. So fundamental is related to this much thing, that with the with your own fundamentalism of our spiritual way and the democratical way. When we come across the fundamental, I have given the four of the words: diversity but not the secularism. What is the diversity with but not the secularism? Let me give you with related to the shloka itself, so that you may I may give the explanation with related to the spiritual as well as with the democratical way, because the lacking of the democratical way and the spiritual way, the person is not creating his own confusion of the rajoguna, tamoguna, the three of the gunas: sattva guna, rajoguna, and tamoguna. So person with having the sattva guna is not having the position, but the rajoguna and tamoguna who takes the position with related to comfortable of your own self, they taking all the actions with related to the certain kind of action which is not preferable with from the constitution as well as individual with related to. This is how the one should understand. Diversity but not the secular. The secular is nothing but one's individuality. Diversity is nothing but when we are going to vote, when we are going to initialize our vote with the particular position person, one should not see for the secularism whether he is the good, he is this is the good and that is the good. But one should understand what is the main fundamentalism of oneself and make the voting of that. This is how the diversity. Yes, a diversity is nothing but the working of that position person is the diversity. But the secularism, not the secularism. Secularism is nothing but our own self. We should be taking the independent of our own decision. We are not. I am not preferring for the certain position person, certain organization. But the one's individuality. One should have that understanding of analyzing the position with the spirituality, with the democratical way. Let me give you the spiritual way. What is the Bhagavad Gita says with the diversity but not the secularism. Okay, ananya chetaha satatam yo smarati nityashaha tasyaham sulabham partha nitya yuktasya yoginam. What is this yoginam? At last yoginam is related giving the word yoginam. The person who is in a yoga, he will be taking the action regarding the sattva guna as his own self. When we are talking the yoga, we come across the devotion. When we talking about the devotion, we come across his own individualness, a realization of his own self with the execution of the positivity, the preferenceable of the sattva guna. the preferentiable with related to the preferentiable of the sattva guna with related to the Bhagavad Gita, when I am talking to Bhagavad Gita tradition, and with related to Bharat. This is what the sattva guna is. So when we come across the ananya cheta satatam yo mam smarati nityashah tasyaham sulabham partha nitya yuktanam yoginam. Let me give you a translation. To whom who constantly meditates upon me, not letting his thoughts sweats aside, to him who is ever yoked to the spirit, I am easy of attending. So meditative state is the state which gives you the understanding of the three of the gunas, sattva guna, rajo guna and tamo guna. The action which you take, the execution with related to the Bharat is nothing but the sattva guna itself. So one should make the action with related to sattva guna as towards the Bharat, because we are in a democratical way, so that the execution of the sattva guna will be causing the positive towards our own self. This is how the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj and the Guru Govind Singh Ji has given a way of sattva guna. So understanding these all the factors, what is the sattva guna is related to, and how the sattva guna is executable with regarding the Bharat, and the sattva guna with regard to individuality. When we are talking with the sattva guna with related to individuality, we come across the yoga meditative state, mindset of the meditative state. So having the meditative state, having the yoga as our own preferentiable action with regarding is nothing but having the sattva guna of your own self, having the execution with related to sattva guna, with related to the our own execution, not with related to the situation which is created by others, which created by the certain situations. This is how the diversification. There is a diversification with related to the democratical way and with related to our own individuality, but not the secularism. What is this secularism? What is the meaning of the secularism mean? All are one. What is the all are one? All are one is very difficult to understand one's mind with the other mind. This is how the secularism. The democratical way of understanding the secularism is meant with only the administrative way, not with the individualness, not with the religious action. But secularism is related to the only the administrative way, as the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj has stated us. The Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj has stated that secularism is meant with only the action regarding the administrative, not with the religion, dharma, or with the action with the Bharat. So having the action with Bharat is what we take the implementation of the sattva guna, which is related to the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. So lack of these, the values of the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, we are unable to understand the value of the administration. So unaware of the administration, we are facing the corrupt mind. When the unaware of the administration, we are facing the corrupt mind, we are making our own fundamentalism as the violating of our own constitutional way. What the constitution has provided the fundamentalism for our own self, but we are avoiding by unawareing the administrative way of what the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj has said, what the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj has given the meaning of the secularism mean, but not with related to the religion, not with related to sorry for a religion, but the dharma. Sanatana Dharma, which is related to the Sanatana Dharma, or with related to the Hinduism, or with related to the Hindu Dharma. So when we come across the Hindutva, Hindu Dharma and the Sanatana Dharma, all are combined with related to the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, because the administrative way, what the administrative way of the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj has given is related to the Bharat itself, not with the dominating the individuality who make the domination with others, with having the domination on others, with having the preferentiable of the two of the guna, Rajoguna and the Tamo guna as. So one should understand these all things of related to the administration. So unaware of this, there is a word called a secularism in execution. So secularism is related to the administrative itself. Secularism is related to the administrative itself. When the administrative taking the action regarding certain situation which is not commanded by the constitutional way, then also you should be taking the action with regarding the what your own fundamentalism is. What the fundamentalism is very much important with related to the administration as well, because fundamentally right to fundamentalism, right to protect your own fundamentalism is with your own self. This is what the article 21 will be saying, and the 19, 20, 21, 21A, these all articles with related to fundamental itself, because one should know the administrative, what is the what the administrative way of one's fundamentalism with related to the process of the official work, as well as one's administration of one's individuality and one's administrative of the as we come across the constitutional way. This all fundamentalism is one should aware of that, not the secularism way. Secularism, when we come across these all things, we are not talking with the secularism, but we are talking with the fundamentalism. So when we come across these all things, we come across the diversion but not the secularism. This is how the ananya chetaha satatam yo mam smrati nityaya. There is a various kind of the diversification with our own thinking. Mam smrati nityaya. Daily there is a diversification of our thinking. But when we come across, when we come related to the yoga in the meditative state, we take the execution of our own self as we determine our own with related to the guna, sattva guna, with our own self of making the execution as a positiveness. I'm not telling with the Rajoguna or a Tamoguna which is influenced by others. So when we come across these fundamentalism of my own self, our own self, when we come across the fundamentalism of the Sattva Guna of positiveness, our own execution, obviously we come across the positiveness which related to the Bharat, not other than this. When we come across the fundamentalism of our own self with the Bharat, we take the action with related to the Bharat itself, with which gives the governance, which our work is encapsulated with constitution. Our work which is encapsulated with the dharma. Our work which is encapsulated with the Bhagavad Gita. This is how the Sattva Guna is mean. This is how one should understand with related to the democratical way, with related to the our own individuality. Lack of this awareness, lack of this fundamentalism of our own self with related to one's individuality, with related to the Bharat, with related to the democratical way, the corrupt mind is in the execution. The corrupt mind is in the execution because the corruption is towards us. The thinking of that, that is what the negative and the positive comes here. Then the positive persons, the sattva guna person, when I am talking with the positive person, we come across the sattva guna. When the positive persons come with in an administrative way, he take the action with related to the once the fundamentalism, what the cause, what the situation is demanding, what the situation I should be giving in particular situation, what the understanding is related to. This all mean with fundamentalism of one's individuality as well as one's individuality as well as one's related to the official work is itself. When the person is forgetting of one's individuality as his own self and one's individuality with the official work, he will making the action with regarding the corrupt minded and corrupt action with regard. He will be facing all the consequences which is related to the BNS. This is how the corrupt mind is with the administrative state. So one should take the action with related to the administrative as well as is one's own individualness. This is how IAS is. This is how IAS with administrative as well as with our own self. When we come across the IAS of our own individualness, integration of the administrative of the sense of soul with related to individual. When we come across the administrative state, IAS mean Indian Administrative Service. So administrative service, what is the meaning of the administrative service? One should know what the constitution demands, what the officials should be taking the action with regarding, what the action should be taking with regarding the smooth process of the constitutional way, not avoiding the action with related to the fundamentalism. This is how the IAS, the work of the IAS is nothing but the commanding of all the officials, commanding of all the officials with in a certain constitutional way of making the smooth process of execution. When there is a conflict, he has the right. The IAS officer is having the right of taking the action with related to the democratical, with related to the fundamentalism as with related to the constitutional way. This is how the DC is. This is how the district commissioner is. This is how the UPSC select for the IAS officers. This is how one should take the action with related to the democratical way, not with related to power or something else to making his own desire, to fulfill his own desire. IAS mean administrating of the fundamental, the commanding, the having the protection of commanding, having the protection of commanding with the various individualness. The IAS, Indian Administrative Service, is mean that the protecting of fundamentalism with relating the various fundamentalism, protecting of the various fundamentalism. I am telling you, protecting of the various fundamentalism. Various fundamentalism not mean that what the person is speaking or what the work is depending on certain type of certain type of undemocratical way, but with related to the fundamental which is commanded by the constitution, which is given by the constitution. This is how the work of the once IAS is mean, once IPS is mean. What let me give you what is the IPS mean. What is the IPS mean? The IPS is IAS and IPS are the both are the same, but there is a different of some of the powers. The thinking, you can say that, not the power, but the thinking of that. The thinking of oneself with the administrative way. With the administrative way, there is a hierarchy of IAS and IPS, but thinking is the same. Thinking is the same thing. One should have the IPS and IAS is. When we come across the IPS, Indian police service is meant with only the particular department. The IPS, the SP, Superintendent of Police. What is this IS, IPS mean? The Superintendent of the Police have the command of having the smooth administrating of various officials, various various officials with related to the constitutional way, what the constitution demands for him, what the constitution demands for him to complete the certain situations. So giving giving the constitution, when the constitution gives powers with related to the IS and IPS, not for the his own desire, but the constitution says that he is having the capability, of governing the fundamentalism of various thinking, protecting of the fundamentalism which is initialized with the one's individuality, protecting of one's individuality. This is what the Indian police service mean. When IPS come in contact with certain corrupt mind, when IPS comes with a certain corrupt mind, he will be taking the entire situation, entire particular situation with related to the corrupt mind itself, because he has taken the action. One single action can make the eradication of the avoiding of the fundamentalism with related to the one's fundamental right. And when I am telling the avoiding of the fundamentalism, is related avoiding of the one's fundamentalism right is relating to avoiding the constitution itself. When the person forgets that the constitution has given a right of IPS for himself to protect, he is avoiding the fundamentalism. The same constitution the same person says that I am not able to I will be not taking action regarding the constitutional way. This is how the corrupt mind is. So corrupt mind comes with the corrupt action itself. When the corrupt actions comes, the entire department comes in a corruption itself. So when corrupt mind comes, single action, this is not the multiple action, but the single action, only the single action, whether it is with the certain position person or whether it is influenced by the certain position person, but the execution should be, his particular execution should be with related to the constitution itself. But avoiding this all thing, he will be taking with related to the Rajoguna and the Tamoguna as the execution of his. He's facing towards the corrupt mind because he's having a influencing with that. So this is how the entire understanding of what the process is with and how the process should be executed and what the process he will be facing. This all analyzation which is related to the one's individuality. We are not saying that the particular position person is related to the particular context of that, but taking the action is very much important rather than taking the consequences. So facing the consequences is very much difficult. When the person is supposed to take the action, he takes the consequences. He takes the corrupt minded as his own particular comfortable of the particular situation, and make the uncomfortable with the particular person, and make the negativity as influencing and take the distraction of his own self and make the disturbance of the administrative itself. He not only disturb his administrative, but he also disturb for the subordinates as well. The person who takes the action regarding the sattva guna, he takes action towards the execution of sattva guna itself. The same thing, the person who takes the execution of the positiveness, he takes the action regarding the positiveness with related to the employee as well. This is how one should understand. The position person should understand what is the sattva guna, what is the rajo guna, what is the tamo guna with related to the position, with related to the his own administrative state. This comes with related to the mindset of his own self, not other than not from the environment. The administration is not mean with the fundamentalism, but the fundamentalism is mean with the administration. Let me clear you that administration is not mean with the fundamentalism, but the fundamentalism is mean with the administration. So administration is initialized with the fundamentalism. Fundamentalism is not with the administration. When we come across the administration of our own self, that administration is different, the environmental administration is different. So this is how diversity but not the secularism is. So position person who is having the position of the IAS or IPS, when we come across the environmental administrative state, one should have the diversity but not the secularism with related to the constitution, when he comes with the secularism as the administrative, when we come as secularism as the administrative, he takes the various thinking in spite of taking the constitutional way and make the influencing of certain situation. Instead of taking that situation, instead of taking this all situation as his own self, he take the democratical way as his own self. Without that, he will be taking all the actions. Okay, so tomorrow in a coming video, I will be making you sure that the discussion with related to the certain points of today's and two of more of the words which is very necessary to be taking the action regarding. Okay, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Jai Shri Ram, Vande Mataram.